Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And this week I'm thinking we could use this as a tipping point for another series of 4, where we review movies that the main thing that's scary in it is something that a lot of people have, like, that generic fear of.
Okay.
A lot of people are scared of clowns. Like, Colin said that he's not a big clown person. He admitted that, you know, and I know a lot of people like that. You know?
Oh, yeah. And this movie came out at the perfect time, right? Because 2017, a bunch of creeps in clown costumes started attacking people.
Except this came out in 2016.
The case said 17, I thought.
When we read the things, but anyway,
Okay,
go ahead.
Whatever. And same year as the clown attack, it came out. This came out.
There was a lot of...
There was a lot of clown stuff happening.
But there's a lot of people that, look, my point is, have a fear of clowns. So that's why you heard Colin and I before the show talking about if we had done arachnophobia. That's because, you know, spiders is a thing that people have, we could do...
But comedies are also a thing. And
right.
arachnophobia
That's why
is that.
They're supposed to be rebooting it as a horror. But anyway, let's get to this movie with the very well thought out, intelligently named Clown. It's about a clown, so they just named it Clown. Stephen King's like, damn it.
Yeah. Wish I had thought of that one.
He just went with it. But anyway, basic premise, guy dresses up like a clown for his kid's birthday party, and when he goes to remove the suit, it won't come off.
It doesn't work, right.
So,
then danger ensues.
yeah, bad things happen and he starts getting evil because of the suit. And because of what clowns really are, apparently.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's the basic premise. For most of you, I'm assuming, haven't seen it. If you have seen it, bear with us because we're going to play that trailer.
There's no clown coming.
Who double books a clown?
I thought you had a backup.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Perfect.
Mr. Clown? Dad, hurry, I'm gonna be late.
I physically cannot get it off. It's suffocating.
1, 2.
Daddy? Oh, Jack, sweetie, let's get you to bed. That's not Daddy.
I can feel myself changing.
What happened to my husband?
It's not a costume. It's skin of a demon. Lured 5 children into its cave. One child forevermore. A winter. No matter what I say, don't let me out.
What are you doing down there, Daddy?
Come downstairs. I want to see my #1 birthday boy.
Don't go up there.
All right. So, before we get into the behind the scenes information, of course, we gotta make some
money.
fat stacks of cash
Right.
here. And we do that by putting it out there that we'll whore out anybody's products that they want us to sell. Yeah, because these are real and exist. This week, Gory Story Time is brought to you by Kent's Costume Emporium. At Kent's, we have the most realistic costumes on the market. We have police uniforms, ancient Roman togas, vampires, slasher movie icons, cartoon characters, and more. Whatever costume you buy at Kent's, we guarantee will be so realistic your own spouse and kids will think it's real. This weekend is our accessories sale. Face paint, fangs, necklaces, whatever accessories you need are 50% off. That's Kent's Costume Emporium, where you'll love our costumes so much you may never take them off.
I like that. And by the Bully That's the end. Okay.
No.
And by the Bully Buster 2000. Are you sick and tired of being bullied? Are you too weak to protect yourself? Do other people push you around like a vacuum cleaner? Then the Bully Buster 2000 is for you. The Bully Buster 2000 is your own personal robot that will follow you everywhere you go and protect you from bullies. Programmed to maim anyone who hassles you. Word will spread that you are not to be messed with. The Bully Buster also has settings to be your best friend or father who isn't in your life. The Bully Buster 2000 from the makers of Robo Girlfriend.
All right, good to know. Maybe they'll have us advertise that some point, the Robo Girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm intrigued. So let's get into the behind the scenes information. There wasn't really a lot, so we'll have to get into it.
The actual facts first.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
During the films, spoiler alert, in case that wasn't clear.
There's a spoiler alert,
Yes.
literally at the beginning of our show.
During the filming of the film's ending, the clown's skin dissolves and melts off of Kent. The style and camera angles are very reminiscent of the ending of The Evil Dead, in which a similar process happens with the possessed when they eventually killed, an obvious nod to possession of the body.
Etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Andy Powers and Laura Allen have guest starred on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Like the mom and the dad, basically.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
When Kent is writing down the address of Herbert Carlson's warehouse, this is a close-up shot of his hand where the audience can see something running through the veins in his hand. Since it is traveling in the opposite direction to what blood would flow, is most likely the essence of the
Clown
clown flowing through Kent's body.
Clown finally got an official US/Canada Region 1 Blu-ray release August 23rd, 2016, after 2 years of being already released in other countries.
It was based on a short film by the same name, also directed by John Watts.
And let's get into that for a second. So basically what had happened was Eli Roth saw this fake trailer online that was attributed to him as a joke. The guy did this fake trailer called Clown and said, from the master of horror, Eli Roth, they used the Hostel music, etc., and cut the same way that trailer did. And Eli Roth contacted John Watts and said, hey, like, have you ever thought about making this an actual movie? And the guy's like, you aren't gonna sue me? He's like, we're in Hollywood. Let's wait till we make some money and then sue each other. And that's like Eli Roth's recollection of it that I'm repeating here. I just thought that was kind of cool. He's like, hey, it's kind of like when people see the movie trailer he made for Thanksgiving Day and go, hey, Eli, make that damn movie.
Hey, Eli.
Make that damn movie. Right? I
right.
would watch the hell out of it.
I would watch that a lot.
Anyway, in the arcade scene later in the film, various types of coin-operated games are shown. One quick shot shows an unknown game with a dinosaur that makes a certain sound effect before cutting away to the next shot. The sound effect is that of one of the various creatures from the video game Doom, most notably the Pinky Demons.
Never played Doom.
No?
Nope.
Did you ever watch the
Nope.
really bad movie starring
With
The
The
Rock?
Rock? No, I didn't.
Anyway,
Released in limited theaters and
VOD.
VOD on June 17th, 2016, 3 years and a half after shooting in winter, 2012.
Movie posters featuring the clown were censored in Italy for being too scary.
Lame.
I don't know if that was the same poster.
It might have been, who knows?
Now, because they didn't have a lot of behind the scenes information, we're going into some goofs, or as we like to call them, grave mistakes.
Yeah.
So,
When Kent is driving with Carlson at about 27 minutes in, he starts turning into the demon and his feet break through the front of his shoes. In the next scene, when Kent gets out of the car, after it crashes and opens the back door to take Carlson out, there's a quick shot of his shoes and they're intact.
here's ones that give away plot holes. After Kent has run off into the woods, he's found by a Boy Scout, who he attempts to eat, only succeeding in biting his finger. Boy screams and runs off. However, no one in the nearby Boy Scout troop seems to hear it. What's more, it's very unlikely that this wouldn't have been reported to police, resulting in an all-points bulletin for a man dressed as a clown attempting to assault a child. Since there was a resulting mark on the child's finger, this would be evidence that Kent had been found later on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that it doesn't make sense because the Boy Scout wasn't alone.
Right.
And no one ever went to look for the man dressed as a clown who bit the kid's finger?
Off? Because he
Yeah.
coughed up the kid's
Right.
bone. Right. How did Carlson and his brother manage to not be suspected in the disappearance of 5 kids from the hospital they were working at the time? It's unlikely that no one would have noticed 5 kids going missing, especially since they were in the papers only weeks prior.
That's true.
That make sense.
At the hotel
Yes, because we marked them wrong.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Because I marked a line that wasn't, yeah. Okay. At the hotel, when Kent does his botched suicide attempt, a kid walks in the room and accidentally gets killed with the buzzsaw. And Kent ends up eating the corpse. Where were this kid's parents?
They never showed the kid's parents.
No,
He just,
but,
kept...
right. But after all that, no one was looking for this missing kid that just wandered off? Like, think about it. Same thing as the Boy Scout thing, but go ahead.
Right. After Kent's car crashes into another car and he wanders off into the woods, it doesn't seem as though the other driver reports to the police an accident in which the other driver was dressed as a clown and left the scene of the crime.
True. When Kent's wife and Carlson find the bully's eaten body, it doesn't seem like the kid's parents came home and discovered this. Since it is in fact well into the night, it's unlikely that the kid's parents wouldn't have discovered it first.
Yeah.
But these are just like mistakes and plot holes. Anyway,
Whatever.
so
And
yeah, Rotten Tomatoes
Rotten Tomatoes.
does a, count of all the positive and negative reviews, and they, just to explain to people, they take all the different reviews and from people and from reviewers, and they let you know what the percentage is of people that gave it a positive review. The regular people, not paid
Not the
reviewers,
critics, right.
have it at 37%. Here's the surprising thing, because usually horror movies don't do as well with the critics, same with comedies, but what does it say there?
48% from the critics.
Which is considering how gory it is and how laughable
Eli Roth
some of
it
the
is?
yeah. Well, Eli Roth didn't direct it. He just got to slap his name on it because he was a producer.
It's very him, though.
Oh yeah. But it's weird that more critics liked it percentage-wise than the people, because that's usually not the case with horror. What was your favorite scene?
I'm just gonna have to go with the first one because it's the first time it shows anything really gory in this movie. And I watched it twice and I cringed both times. He's first trying to get the suit off, and after like pulling on it, it doesn't work, so he gets a box cutter and tries to cut it from his wrist, and he just gashes right into his wrist, and he starts bleeding all over the place.
And it is weird that he walks out and he's like grabbing like a bandage, and it's like, no.
He just like stuffs a napkin
The
over
amount
it.
of blood and the fact that it was his wrist, like the fact that he never went to the hospital, but that's explained when
Later
you learn
with
about
stuff with the clown, right?
Yeah, exactly. My favorite part in general, I'm gonna go with, it's partly related to what you were saying. It's how gory it is and realistic. I love that about Eli Roth movies. Hostel had the scene where the toe was being cut off with the bolt cutters. Yeah, there's always one or two scenes in an Eli Roth related film that you go, ugh. You know, when,
Death Wish, when the guy got the jack pulled out of the car.
well, I was gonna say, yeah, that's not even a horror. I was gonna
Right.
say Green Inferno, when the guy's over in the corner.
Just jacking off in the corner of the cage.
Yeah, like
It doesn't even have to be a
Too
gory thing.
de-
It's just like
there's
why?
always something that makes you queasy and flinch, and I think there's not a lot of people that watch Eli Roth movies from beginning to end without flinching or turning away at some point. And I love that about him. What was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing, I just came up with this because this movie is so good, is probably, and this is nitpicking, that I can't feel good about the people they kill.
Oh, you'd
Right.
rather them be bad people?
Right, like
Yeah, well-
in a Jason movie, they're all doing drugs and they're like having sex, and like it's wrong to kill them for that.
I was gonna say.
But like they're sinning, so like there's like a moral aspect to it. They're just kids. They're just like the first kid.
Morally, they should have the option of being forgiven. Ha ha.
What?
I'm going with the religious morality, and they should have had the opportunity to be forgiven in those Jason movies. So you're wrong. You're talking hellfire out your mouth. If it smells like smoke, guess where it came from? Anyway, go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, I don't like that they decided to go with kids, because like even if the kids,
You know that
like,
was to make it more disturbing. That was all intentional.
this is nitpicking. Okay,
Okay.
I really liked it.
Okay.
Okay, I loved that he ate that kid. Like, I thought it was amazing. But, like, I can't say that on TV, Dad.
The weird thing is that's the same comment you made when you heard about Jared.
I can't say that on TV.
No.
I like to eat kids.
I like it when he ate that kid.
Oh, my God.
$5. Anyway, Colin's just staring through the glass like, you didn't just say that.
No.
But at this point, he's really not surprised that I did say that.
And we're allowed to say that. So,
Yeah. So that was your least favorite thing. My least favorite thing is how gory it is. Yes, that's the same thing as my favorite.
because it made you quease.
It literally, like, it's like something in your gut just goes and squeezes, and it's like, oh God. There's a physical reaction. And for the same reason it's my favorite thing, it's my least favorite thing. Because
Like, if it was less
getting
realistic...
that disturbed,
Right, if it was less realistic, you wouldn't have been like, oh,
yeah.
it would have
But
been
it
nothing.
looks so real that it's like, But going through that and surviving is why it's also my favorite thing. See? Because where do you get to see that without in real life? You know what I mean? And it's not a detrimental thing to your safety and psyche.
Right.
So watching it on film that way somehow, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing with horror movies. Like, you get scared it triggers the flight or fight thing in your brain.
But you stay sitting on your
you're
couch
okay.
because...
So it gets you at that level of adrenaline. A good one does. There are some crappy ones that there's no adrenaline. But when you're watching him do that, like your adrenaline,
like you know it's about to happen.
Yeah, especially with Eli Roth, you know you're gonna see it too.
I was okay. So just because we're not running short on time yet, and we didn't have a lot to talk about with facts,
Well,
I was surprised
we're about right
that
on.
we didn't see
Dude, stop burping! Oh my
the
god!
the second suicide attempt, right? Because the first time he shoots himself in the head, like confetti colors all over the wall, which I love. I love that effect that they made. Like after a while,
If you're
his
talking about
blood
the
was
buzzsaw
colorful.
thing, the reason we didn't see it is if we find out later that will actually kill him, and that would be the end
Right,
of the
but
movie.
like I didn't know that,
Right.
right? And we didn't know that.
But they had a good
But like
explanation.
I thought it
for
would have been like a cool little montage to be like, oh, he shot himself, he came back, he
Oh.
sliced into his head, and we see that
Okay.
nasty stuff, and then he comes back, and then he's like, oh, here's another thing. Thought that would have been a cool thing. I mean, I really liked the way that it ended up going, but
On a scale of 1 to 10, though, what would you give this? Now, again, take it for what it is. It's not just a horror movie. It's Eli Roth, the guy who they created the term, pornography.
right?
Or
I'm gonna have to give it a 9. Because like other than like,
torture porn. That's the other name that
Right.
they call it. But
Well, like, it's not really a creature movie, but like
No.
clowns
But
are
it is
a
because
great
of what
thing.
he turns out to
Like,
be.
I really like clowns.
What the clown turns out to be.
Right, but like,
You like it as a
I really like
scary
clowns
device.
anyways. So the fact that he was able to do this,
But we got to figure out what the other 3 things are going to be. They got to be different things. Some people are scared of dolls. I don't want to do Chucky, but there's other doll movies.
there are quite
You
a few
know,
new doll movies
you know,
that have come out.
spiders. We'll talk about it off the air. but
Right.
we've got I'm going to go ahead and say for the realism, as much as there was plot holes that you could drive a Mack truck through, for the realism and for the I love an Eli Roth movie. Like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
there's peaks and valleys of tension and
Like
I just
anyone
love it.
else could have made
So,
that fake
I'll
Thanksgiving
equal
trailer.
you with a 9.
Anyone else could have made that fake
It wouldn't have
Thanksgiving
worked.
trailer, and I would have said nah. But
And he
because it's
purposely
his
made
name,
it cheesy. That's
because
the
it's
thing.
his name, I need to see that movie.
He needs to make it. But anyway, all right. And I said 9 also. So
Right.
let's give out all our particulars.
It's on that side. There it
There
is.
we go.
You can watch this show, Fact TV Channel 8, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can email us at gorystorytime@yahoo.com.
You know, complain that I said I liked it when he ate the children, okay?
Yeah.
You can like us on Facebook.
Or complain that I made a Jared joke about that.
Yes. You can like Fact TV on Facebook.
You can. If you're watching the live stream of this, sorry about some of those jokes. And
And
you've
already liked
done
them
it.
on Facebook.
But definitely like both on Facebook if you haven't.
You can, fact8.com.
Yep, Fact8.com has old episodes of this and many other shows. Unlike a lot of areas, like I grew up in Brattleboro and stuff, and they have some shows, but not as much as.
But they're
This is
mostly
probably-
board stuff.
Other than like big cities where, there's a lot of people that do in New York and LA
Right.
and stuff like that. For a small town to have this many programs created by the people of the town is amazing to me.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It just
Oh,
is.
that's awesome.
So, definitely support Channel 8.
Yes.
And I have made a couple
Anything else?
memes recently for the Facebook page.
Yep.
No, that
Our Twitters.
yeah, Twitter.
I'm at Jason T. Jakes, capital J, capital T, capital J.
I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
We don't talk about the show.
No, not really.
As of recently, if you don't want spoilers for Endgame, don't follow me. But
Also, anyone that has shows on here that ends up, sending friends requests on Facebook to my regular page, I tend to accept. That's how I became
Yeah.
friends with like Floyd Lawrence. Not because he had a show, but because he had music videos and he had
Right.
seen the show. But someone that knows you just recently sent
Sent
me a
you
friend
a friend's request thinking you were me.
I'm assuming that was the case.
me too, because he'd just seen me
Yeah.
like 10 minutes earlier.
But I
That's
will-
not the point of the show.
But just like, anything else like our Twitters, we don't really post a lot about the show except when we share the link to the episodes on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, I
but-
definitely don't do much with the show except for share the link on Facebook, and I will 100% offend you at all
Yeah.
costs.
No matter
if
what
you
your
do-
politics are, there's something on there to
That you will not
ruin your
like.
day.
Yes, purpose.
anyway.
You're welcome. Until next time, I'm your host Jason,
I'm his co-host and father, Craig,
and sweet dreams.